All right, let's just dive right in. We're going to talk about something that, let's be honest, a lot of us dread, studying. But what if we could transform it from a total chore into, like, an actual adventure? That's what this is all about. Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever been there? Staring at a textbook, reading the same sentence for the fifth time, and it's just nothing. Absolutely nothing is sticking. Your mind just wanders off, and the whole page feels gray and lifeless. Yeah, you're definitely not alone in that. And this right here, this is the core of the problem. Look at this. On one side, you've got studying, forced repetition, memorizing facts. Ugh, a painful chore, right? But then, on the other side, you have learning, joyful discovery, connecting ideas, a fun adventure. So what gives? Why do we spend so much time stuck in that first column? Okay, so Section 1, why studying feels so bad. Let's get to the bottom of this. And here's the good news right off the bat. It's probably not you. It's not that the subject is boring or that you're just bad at it. Nope. The problem is the method.
And this is the big secret, really. Your brain loves to learn. I mean, it's basically a little exploration machine. It was built for this. But it hates to study. It just totally resists the way we're often told we're supposed to do it. Think about it. Your brain wasn't designed to just blindly follow commands. It wants to explore, to play around with ideas, and to see how everything connects.
And this really breaks it down. You've got the robot approach, repeat, memorize, follow commands, and what happens? Your brain just kind of shuts down. It gets bored. But then there's the human approach, explore, connect, create stories. That's when the lights come on inside your head. That's when things get exciting.
So get this, that feeling of boredom, it's not a weakness. It's not you failing. It's actually a superpower. It's your brain's alarm system literally screaming at you. Hey, this isn't working. We're not actually learning anything. We're just trying to survive this information. It's a huge, blinking sign telling you there has to be a better way.
Which brings us to our next section, think like an explorer. So what is that better way? Well, it all kicks off with one simple but honestly game-changing mindset shift. We're going to stop being passive students and start being active explorers. I really want this to sink in. You are not dumb. You are not the problem. The way you've been studying is like trying to chop down a tree with a butter knife. It's just exhausting and it doesn't work. You don't need to try harder, you just need to grab the right tools. Okay, this is such a cool way to think about it. Picture your brain as a giant map. Every single thing you already know and understand, that's a city on your map. Now, when you encounter a new idea, what's the goal? It's not to just drop a new random city in the middle of a field, no way. The real job is to build roads connecting that new city to all the other cities that are already there. Because if an idea is just sitting there all by itself with no roads leading to it, well, that's when you get lost. That's when you get bored. So, what does this explorer's mindset actually look like? Well, first, you just stop trying to memorize. Seriously. Instead, you start trying to connect. You become a question asker. Wait, why does that work? What if I tried this instead? You start to play with the knowledge. You don't fight against it. And that feeling of boredom, it's no longer a stop sign. It becomes a green light, a signal to get curious and figure out what's missing. All right, Section 3, your brain's super tools. So we've got the mindset down, right? Think like an explorer. Now let's get to the fun part, the actual tools that put this all into action. These are the techniques that will help you understand, well, pretty much anything. This is crucial. You got to understand that your brain isn't just a big filing cabinet where you stuff facts. It's more like a kitchen. You don't just retain what you read. That's like just buying groceries. You retain what you process. That's when you actually cook the meal and make it your own. It's an active thing, not passive. So here it is, 3 simple steps to truly get anything. This is often called the Feyman technique, and it's brilliant. Step 1, connect it. Find an analogy. Ask yourself, okay, what in my world is this kind of like? Step 2, explain it. This one's the real test. Close the book, turn away from the screen, and try to explain the idea in super simple terms. Like so simple a kid could get it. And finally, step 3, play with it. Mess around with the idea in your head. Ask, what if I change this part? What would happen then? Turn it into your own little experiment. And honestly, that second step is where the magic is. If you can't explain it simply, you just don't understand it well enough yet. And that's okay. It's not a failure. It's actually a gift. It's like a big, bright arrow pointing to exactly where you need to go back and build a better road on your mental map. Okay, Section 4, learning is your superpower. because when you really start using these tools and this mindset, something amazing starts to happen. Learning isn't just this thing you do anymore. It becomes a part of who you are. It literally becomes your superpower. You know that feeling when you're so deep into something, a video game, a hobby, a great conversation, that you completely lose track of time? You look up and hours have just vanished. That magical state is called flow, and that is the peak of learning. It's where the real connections happen, not because you're forcing it, but because you're genuinely hooked. Now, this next point might sound a little weird, but it's so important. Learning is not a race. It's more like a dance between putting in the effort and then taking a break. The best learners aren't machines. They know when to step away. Your brain actually does some of its best work, building those connections when you're resting. It's in the quiet moments that the real ahas happen.
Which brings us to this number, 3. What's it mean? It means that 3 hours of focused, curious, engaged learning are way, way more powerful than 10 hours of exhausted, miserable, forced studying. It's never about how long you sit there. It's always about the quality of your focus.
And when you really get down to it, what's the goal here? It's not just to pile up a bunch of facts in your head to pass the test. The real goal of learning is to actually transform yourself. It's about changing the way you see the world, and even changing the way you see yourself. Because honestly, if knowledge doesn't change you, it's just data.
And that's what this all comes down to, really. You weren't born to just be a machine that memorizes answers. You were born to be an explorer who asks the kind of amazing questions that can actually change things. It's all about rediscovering that incredible curiosity you had as a kid.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. If learning has felt like a drag lately, if it's been boring or frustrating, just take a second and ask yourself this one thing. Where did I lose my curiosity? Because I promise you, the moment you start looking for it and the moment you find it again, that's when the real adventure begins.